Hello and welcome to our little Lunch and Learn webinar. Let's get ready for SAAM. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and so we want to get you real prepared and to have some real great ways that you can promote awareness and the services provided to those in need throughout our state. So we are excited about our helpline, so you're going to hear me talking about that quite a bit. We have a new text and chat-based helpline that's statewide. But we just hope that this is going to be a fun presentation, and we hope that you see something that resonates that you would like to do to promote sexual assault awareness and the things that we can do to stop sexual assault and the services that are provided to survivors so that they can overcome and get through their healing journey. So without further ado, let's move on to the next slide. I want to let you know that I am so excited that you are attending this little webinar. I really appreciate your time and your effort and your enthusiasm in wanting to help this cause. My name is Kelli Knight, and I am the outreach coordinator with LaFASA. So I hope that you are you're as excited as I am. So why do we have a month dedicated to sexual assault awareness? Well, first of all, we envision a world without sexual violence. That's our mission and our purpose for being here, is that we envision a world where survivors are healing and we don't have to worry about this terribleness in the world anymore. So when we discuss it, people recognize what it is. People recognize that it can be stopped if we just dispel the myths surrounding it and understand the root causes. So sexual assault is definitely more prevalent than most people understand. There are a lot of misconceptions about it, but some of the stats that that I'll tell you about are that 20 to 50% of adult women, men, and LGBTQ plus will experience sexual violence in their lifetime. While women are disproportionately affected by sexual assault, the LGBTQ community is even more likely to experience sexual violence. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys before the age of 18 will be sexually abused, and it's likely even higher than estimated because so many go unreported, and that's not just for children, that's for adults as well. So many go unreported. Only they estimate somewhere between 38 and 42% of sexual assaults are actually disclosed or reported. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is that victims usually know their assailant. About 8 out of 10 assaults are committed by someone known to the victim, like an intimate partner, a husband, a spouse, a wife, or acquaintance rape. Acquaintance rape is generally referred to as date rape, but it goes further than that. So perpetrators of acquaintance rape might be a date, or they might be a classmate, somebody that's going to school with somebody on campus. You see that person all the time. It might be a neighbor. It might be a friend of a friend, someone that you've met through somebody, or any number of different kinds of roles. Sexual assault is not a crime of passion. Sexual violence is a crime in which the assailant seeks to assert their power to dominate their victims. The majority of perpetrators really are somebody who, people who are trying to control something in their life or other people. The only person responsible for sexual assault is the perpetrator. It's not somebody who is in a bar and she's wearing, scantily clad clothing. It's not the girl that is, you that sleeps around, or the guy, or anybody of that, but sexual assault survivors are never under any circumstances responsible. So we just want that to be clear. Consent is never a judgment call. If someone has not given a clear yes or no, then consent has not been given. Knowledge is critical to get our message out. So if you know this information, then you are going to be much better equipped to get the message out and to make people understand. So just by going over this little bit of information, you may have had a light bulb go off just to understanding what is behind the actual act of sexual violence. So we have so much information on our website, LaFASA.org, at our resource center, especially the LaFASA Resource Center. It's we also have more information tab. So we encourage you to go there and seek so many resources that we have that you can read up on, and it's not going to take much time, but you can see how the prevalence and you can be better equipped to counteract misconceptions that people have. If you go to nsbrc.org or rain.org, you can get other stats and information as well. So the areas that we are going to discuss to participate are going to be a few little social media ideas, a few ideas for writing and blogging, and how you can participate with an in-person event, a virtual event, and combined, in-person and virtual. And then LaFASA is going to be having some SAAM events during April, and we'll tell you about those as well. So 30 days of SAAM. That is going to be exciting because you can win daily prizes. If you go to the nsbrc.org site, you can find out how you can participate. It's basically Instagram little tasks that you do each day. And if you do these, you can be entered to win an Etsy gift card every single day. And then at the end of the month, there is one grand prize that will be given. SAAM Day of Action. That's going to be Tuesday, April the 5th. And so if you wear teal, encourage others to wear teal. Tell people why you're wearing teal. If you walk your dog and your dog has a bandana, find a teal bandana. Tell people why your dog is wearing teal. But take selfies or take photos, post those so that people know that it is a day of action against sexual violence and to make people aware of sexual assault, and use hashtags such as SAAM 2022, support survivors, SAAM Day of Action 2022. If you do these things, then people will see that more people will see your pictures, and we can get more attention. So create a relevant challenge. What do we mean by that? Do you remember when they had the ice water challenge for ALS and it garnered so much attention and people were very emotional with this little challenge and got really into it? We haven't really seen anything like that since then, but wouldn't it be great if somebody with the sexual assault cause and movement created some sort of little challenge to promote, and it went viral? So think about something that you might be able to do. It might not be like, an ice water bucket, but it could be something fun and something that people really feel like they might be able to do and have those videos go viral. So next, then we would have, let's share an attention grabber. What's an attention grabber? Well, that is a little paragraph that starts off with something that people are like, wait, what's this? Let's go over one that we've prepared right here for you. So this is one that you might find associated with certain subjects like mental health or cancer. I've seen some for those, but this one starts off, I'm afraid that I have some personal reasons for this post. Life gets messy and sometimes presents difficult moments. You realize who in your circle of family and friends appreciate and support the causes you support. I stand with survivors of sexual assault. During April, especially, we want to change attitudes and understandings of what sexual assault is. Sexual assault is very prevalent. 1 in 4 girls, women, 1 in 6 boys, men, and nearly half the LGBTQ community will experience some form of sexual harm in their lifetimes. No one is responsible for being assaulted. The only person responsible is the perpetrator who chose to harm somebody. It's very likely you know someone who has been sexually assaulted. Less than half of survivors disclose or report their assaults. Share or copy and paste on your page so we can show the power of community and the willingness to change how society views sexual assault. To all survivors who still battle to overcome, we hear you and stand with you. Here is a virtual hug for each of you and your family. Don't be afraid to stand with survivors and post this on your page. Join me also in sharing LaFASA's helpline information at lafasa.org. So that's just a little something that that you can do, and people will see it, and because it starts off with something, the sentence, I'm afraid that I have some personal reasons for this post, then it's an attention grabber, and you'll probably get people to like, hopefully, and share. All right, so more social media. So decorate your Facebook page. That's pretty easy. You can easily get a little background for your cover photo. You can get a teal awareness ribbon, and you can put that as your profile picture. We also have frames that we've created in the past for SAAM that we'll be putting up on our Facebook page for people so that they can use those for their profile pics. But you can just go crazy with that and just have it up for the entire month of SAAM. Another thing is you can create a geo filter for Snapchat. What is a geo filter? Well, a geo filter is if you are familiar with Snapchat and you know that you swipe to the left or to the right, I guess, And you always have these little filters that say, wherever the city you're in, or, it's Friday, things like that. Well, you could create those um, just where you are. You can create them with your phone. They are limited to where you are and where your phone is, but you can make them say whatever you want. And so when you're posting that and other people see it, it's going to create a little bit of FOMO, and it's going to make the snap really special, and other people can see it. So if they see it, they might actually say, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm going to post that. I'm going to take a pic and post that to my story. But you could do, I have a couple of little examples here, be brave, stay fearless, believe survivors. Hey, what about promoting our helpline, our text helpline? You're special, and just put the SAAM information there so that people say, what's SAAM? And then, of course, if it's a hashtag, they'll go to the hashtag, and then they'll see that's all about sexual assault awareness. And it really gets the word out. Super simple. And if you really and you are need a little help, then Snapchat has a super simple tutorial on how to do this as well. So the next thing that's pretty cool is writing or blogging. And you can use LaFASA's blog. We absolutely don't mind that you use the information that we have posted. It's information that we want as many people to see as possible. So we would actually appreciate a little citation, like maybe a little bit of LaFASA's blog or something like that, just so people, if they want more information, they can go back, because we have so many stories and articles in our blog. But if not, then the most important thing is just getting the word out. So you can go to our blog, you can share those stories, you can write your own blog. Write a little, if you have a blog, dedicate one of the entries that you have to Sexual Assault Awareness Month. You can contact your representatives and just take a few days to write a really something very well written, well organized, well thought out, and send it to your representatives, stating that you want them to support legislation that supports survivors. Because the more people that do that, then the more that we're going to have sexual assault representation. And a lot of people think that that's just an automatic thing, and it's not. There is a lot of support, obviously, for domestic violence, which is fantastic, but sexual assault is kind of more under the radar. And if it's not specifically stated sexual assault, then their law is not going to apply. So it's great to get that support to your legislature. You can write an op-ed. You can write from your experience, whether you're an advocate or whether you're a volunteer, or perhaps you knew somebody or know somebody who's gone through this experience of being sexually assaulted, or perhaps you have been and you're ready to open up about it. We encourage people with all backgrounds to write about experience, because when this is your passion and when you're writing from something that then it makes that article even more powerful. So if you want to write something and you haven't, maybe you haven't volunteered or you haven't had any kind of experience, then just read up and read up on all the things, especially things like Denim Day, and that'll incite some passion, and you can write from that, and then send it to your local media. It's harder to get media to publish and post. So what we did was we have our board member, Jackie Jovic, who's with KTL TV in the Shreveport area. And so we had her do a little bit on how to get noticed.
Hi, I'm Jackie Jovic, evening anchor at NBC6 in Shreveport and board member of LaFASA. I'm pleased to be joining you for the kickoff of Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Many of you may be wondering why reporters don't respond to your requests for coverage, or you wonder if anyone ever sees your emails. They probably don't. You could craft an award-winning news release with the most creative subject line, and it will likely end up in the deleted folder. And here's why. Every day we get hundreds and hundreds of emails from people pitching their stories. I spend about an hour a day just deleting the emails, not even reading them. And one of our producers told me she had 6,000 unread emails that she just hadn't gotten around to deleting. So the most important thing you can do to get coverage is to build relationships. The truth is, the emails that get through are from people we know. Here are a few ways you can build relationships. You can follow people on social media, get to know the people who you want to cover your stories. Ask local news personalities to MC an event. They, of course, will have buy-in, and they'll make sure the station promotes the event that they are a part of. Here's a really simple thing. You can call a newsroom to let them know who you are, ask if you could stop by sometime to introduce yourself, and then when you visit, be memorable. Bring some PR items. One thing that every newsroom loves is food. Bring cookies, donuts, something like that. They will love you forever, and your story will get covered. And this will help with your story ideas. Keep a file of survivors who've been helped by your group, who'd be willing to share their story. They can tell what happened to them, what made them reach out for help, and make sure it's a diverse group of people. So there'll be people that will be appropriate for different types of stories. Let them share their story, which will inspire others to seek help or inspire others to support your organization. And then there are plenty of stories out there for parents. Parents want to help their children and they don't have the tools. Story ideas for every age group. So you can teach parents how to talk to their small children about good and bad touches, teaching teens about healthy dating, things students should know before they head off to college. Tie into current events. Watch what's happening on the news. Watch the national headlines and then localize it. The high-profile cases of trafficking young women, those have been in the headlines a lot. Offer a story about how victims are groomed, signs people can look out for to know if someone's in trouble. And here are a few tips for news releases. Let's start by not putting the phrase news release, press release, or whatever in the subject line, because it doesn't tell what your story is and it will get deleted. Put the full release in the body of the email. Don't expect someone to open an attachment. That one extra click may be too much for someone who's going through thousands of emails in a day. Emphasize local. We do get a lot of press releases from national sources, so emphasize that your story is what's happening in the local community. And then make it really easy for news organizations. Include photos, include video links. So if you have shot an interview with someone, if you have Zoom interviews that you have recorded that they can use, include a link to a Dropbox, and also include graphics. So let's talk about news release timing. This is what generally works for television stations, but it's a good idea to ask other organizations when they like to receive their releases. But for us, send the news release about 2 weeks before an event. Earlier than that, it gets forgotten. Resend it the week of the event, and then, this is important, follow up with a phone call to make sure that the television station received the email. when you do get that interview, it's important to stay on brand. And that may sound silly for a nonprofit, but this is what I mean. Our food bank repeats certain messaging, like if you donate $1, they can turn it into $10 worth of food. The American Heart Association lets you know that it's the #1 killer in America. So just have those statistics ready and what you want your messaging to be. And talk to the reporter about exactly what kind of information they're looking for, so you know how to prepare for that interview. And then just be confident in the fact that you're the expert. After the story airs, follow up with a thank you by text or email. Share the story on social media. Tag the reporter and the news outlet. They'll know that you shared it, and that goes a long way to helping to build those relationships. So this is just a quick snapshot of ways to get news coverage. I'd be happy to answer any of your individual questions. Feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, Twitter, or email. Just mention LaFASA, and I promise I won't delete it. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jackie, for that. So if you need any more information, like she said, just get in touch with her. Another idea is moving on to virtual and in-person events. You can do a Zoom background, or you can, whatever platform that you use to do your virtual meetings. This is kind of an extension of decorating your Facebook page, but just get a Zoom background that depicts Sexual Assault Awareness Month and use that for the month. And if people ask, hey, what is that? Then you have that little opportunity to tell about Sexual Assault Awareness Month. All right. And this is a super fun thing to do. Host a virtual trivia party night. It's so fun if you have this little trivia. Everybody loves trivia, right? So you have a little trivia night, invite friends to play along. They can participate from wherever they are. They don't have to be in the same room with you. We use myquiz.org. It's super, super easy. It's free. And it's fun because you can actually interact. Everything is real time, and you can and it's just a great way to get people to come together, offer a prize, and don't think that your theme has to be about sexual assault. Your theme could be anything. It could be something, if you just want something fun for people to come to feel like they can be engaged in your trivia night. But what you can do is, before the trivia, you can talk a little bit about Sexual Assault Awareness Month and why you're doing the trivia. You can have a little intermission and have people, tell people about Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Again, tell people about LaFASA's Helpline, tell people about where they can get assistance. And then again at the end, before people leave. But you could put that you are doing this to support survivors of sexual assault, and just let people understand from the get-go. But like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily associate with sexual assault. It could be, any kind of theme that you want it to be. All right, and so now we're moving on to kind of that virtual and in-person mixed event. Scavenger hunts are really great for that. And we actually have a little campaign called Teal Rocks. And I just thought that this would be a great way to combine the Teal Rocks campaign and awareness. And so what you do is you paint your rocks. You have rocks that are painted teal, of course, but then you put positive messages on these rocks so that people see them, and you make them brightly colored. They see the message and it's intriguing to them. Anyway, and then you put the rocks where, all around. Put them in your neighborhood, park, around your city, town. Put them in places where people need to see a positive message. You might put them around a medical facility or a hospital, or a, a courthouse. You might put them around a school, places like this. I think everybody can use a positive message. So after you do that, then you give hints on where to find them. And the cool thing about that is that not only do you have participants trying to find these teal rocks with great positive messages, if somebody sees this rock in the meantime, who's not even affiliated with the scavenger hunt, they're going to see a great positive message. Some ideas might be, for your messages might be, yes means yes, or consent is beautiful. Things like that really do tie in with Sexual Assault Awareness Month. But you can go a little further. You can say, find your power. You can do messages like that. Spread goodwill. You are strong. These are all great messages. Only you define your worth. Great messages that anybody can hear, but would be great for the scavenger hunt. And then on the back, just put LaFASA's helpline information. Put the hashtag Teal Rocks, Kindness Rocks, SAAM 2022. And then when your participants do find the rock, just have them post a picture with the rock. And that way, if it's got a little tag to it, then a lot of people are going to see it and a lot of people are going to get the message. And whoever finds the most rocks at the end of the month, let's say, you can send them a little $5 gift card to Starbucks or a coffee shop or someplace like that. I think that most people like to participate in these things just because they're fun. People are looking for things to do, but it always makes it a little more fun if you have that little bit of competition and a little prize for incentives. Right, and so now we're moving on to strictly in-person events. So what you can do is you can ask a restaurant, a business, a library, or someplace that you frequent to host SAAM, sorry about that, to host a SAAM day or a display for the month. You can, if you know somebody, if you maybe it's a business that you frequent, or maybe it's your workplace, maybe it's your bank, maybe it's a local grocery store, maybe it's a produce store, kind of like we have Southside Produce in Baton Rouge. Just places like that. If you ask them if you can put up a little display about Sexual Assault Awareness Month, a lot of these places will be very open to it. Restaurants even do a night where you can ask people to come and eat at the restaurant. You can set up a little table and give out information, and then the restaurant many times will give a 10% of all the profits made that evening to your charity of choice. It might be the crisis center in your parish. And they're going to always be very open to receiving donations. You don't necessarily have to do that, but getting the word out is the most important thing. So, but a lot of restaurants are familiar with that and will actually do that. But just put up like a little table and just have information. We can provide so much information if you want to do this. We have brochures and one pagers, and we have lots of promotional items for our helpline that include magnets and window decals. So whatever you would like, just look on our website and I'm sure you can find it. We can give it to you all free of charge. We're not going to charge you for it. We're not going to ask that you even pay for shipping. We'll send it right to you. So moving on, then everybody has a library or a bookstore or someplace like that that has a vast amount of resources already on the premises. So they are a great way to utilize what they have to have a little SAAM display. Libraries have books and DVDs as well. And so we can, again, provide the information so they can have their books about sexual assault or their DVDs about sexual assault. And then we can have we can send you the brochures for people to pick up so that if they want to learn more about sexual assault awareness, they can have at least something to take home with them. So these are some of the things that we find are engaging and that people would like to either read or watch. But I will post these up. This is being recorded so that we can have it up all month long, or actually just up all the time. And so in the description of the YouTube description, I'm going to add all of these great resources so that you can suggest them to your library or to your bookstore or college bookstore, whatever. But you might actually recognize some of these. You might recognize Know My Name by Chanel Miller. I Have the Right To by Chesty Prout. These have been very recent stories that people that were national stories that were broken, that people reported on. All right, so along the same lines, again, set up a table display at your college or your resident hall. Some campuses have common areas like the quad. At like a lot of places have a quad. Some places have a free speech alley, and you are allowed to promote your cause. So find out when students can set up and where it is, and see if you can participate and raise awareness about sexual assault. Again, if you would like to do this, we can provide information to you. That is not a problem. If your college doesn't have a designated area, then see where you can put up a table, maybe at the campus union or your campus bookstore. And most campuses are very compassionate towards sexual assault awareness, and I think that won't be a problem. If you live in a dorm, check with your RA and see if you can put stuff up in your common area. If you're in an apartment, check with your manager, because dorms and apartment complexes, most of them have little common areas. They have dining areas. They have game rooms, especially some of these newer, construction dorm and apartments. There's a lot of stuff going on at these places. And there's a lot of places where, there's like even coffee rooms in some of these, in some of the dorms and the apartment complexes. And you can just put up a little, put up a few brochures about sexual assault. Or if you would like window decals, we can send those, and you can have a little stack of window decals so that your people can pick them up and put them on their windows, or you can put them on the mirrors in your in the bathroom, the common area bathroom. Have a walk for awareness. So this is something, it's going to take a little bit of planning, but my neighborhood has little meet and greets a couple of times a year, 2-3 times a year, where everybody goes to the neutral ground and they have a tent set up and it's a little potluck and people just get to know each other. This is a great way for you to engage people in that capacity, but have it as a walk for awareness. And you can set it up in your local park or your neighborhood, on your college campus, and just to have a small walk. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be that long. It doesn't have to be a mile or anything like that. It could be a few blocks, a couple blocks. It could be walking around a few buildings at your college campus. It could be walking the perimeter of the park. But just have people gather. And if it's in a park, a lot of times, or the neighborhood, a lot of times, if people haven't seen that you're doing this, they want to know what you're doing, and they'll come out and probably participate with you. But it's a great family event because people can bring their dogs, they can bring their children, they can have their younger children in strollers, and it's very casual. Encourage people to wear teal. Have it as a potluck or have snacks. A lot of if you do this in the morning, you can probably find a place that will donate, a couple dozen donuts to the cause, and just have stuff like that, that if you have food, you'll definitely garner attention. Since people always see free food and they want, to know what's going on. But then again, we have our helpline information. We have little material items that we can send you, that you can give away, like magnets, like window decals, all these great things. We have brochures. This would be a great place to put our parent brochure, because if you have quite a bit of interest, then you more than likely are going to have a parent who has unfortunately experienced sexual assault through their children, or a friend's child has experienced it. So it's just a great, we have information on what parents can do and how they can help their children, and the types of services they can seek out. But just promoting healthy relationships and healthy living is just a great way to raise awareness. All right. And so finally, we get to the LaFASA events that are going to be going on. We will be having our SAAM Night of Trivia, online trivia fun. The category is Women Who Got It Done, and it's going to be on Thursday, April the 7th. Well, if you go to our LaFASA events page, you can find all the details about that. But again, we will be using the myquiz.org platform, and it's super fun. It's going to be movies that depict real life women who made differences in history. So if you want to brush up on some of that, we encourage you to join us. And we always give away a prize for the winner. And we will be having a TikTok challenge. We're still getting the details on this, but it's going to be basically people doing little TikToks and to promote our helpline and awareness, and the video that gets the most likes, the TikTok that gets the most likes by April 14th at noon wins the challenge. And of course, they get a little prize pack. Denim Day 2020. This is going to be virtual and in person. It's an all-day thing. Statewide, we have a lot of people that participate in this. We have most of our crisis centers participate. Everybody dresses up in denim and they post selfies, or they get their office to dress up and they post a pic of their office, and just an awareness of this event. And I encourage you to go to denimdayla.org so that you can read up on what Denim Day is all about. I promise you it will stir the passion up inside of you. If you are in the Baton Rouge area, we would absolutely love to have you join our Denim Day event. It's going to be an evening on the denim carpet, and you can come for food and good drinks and lots of fun. We also have our award ceremony that celebrates people, advocates and allies and organizations who have worked without any, just because they want to help survivors. And so we want to recognize all of their hard work. And so we'll have the awards that night. We will have door prizes and swag bags and a denim jacket auction. And if you go to denimdayla.org, you'll see all of that. And that's going to be April 27th. Now, the day before that is our day of action that is in corroboration with survivors of violence. It's another nonprofit. It is a statewide nonprofit that helps survivors in Louisiana, the victims of crime. And they are coordinating a lobby day that LaFASA will be participating in, and that's going to be Tuesday, April 26th at the Capitol in Baton Rouge. And so all of these events are on LaFASA's event page, and you can get all the information if you go to that page. So we really do encourage you to promote LaFASA's or services for survivors and LaFASA's helpline. We have so many materials that you can request to put in your office. If you just want to have materials to put in your office during SAAM, we can send those to you. If you have places you frequent, like a coffee house or something, and you just want to put some brochures out, we can send those. If you want to promote our helpline, we have so many things with our ways to promote our helpline. It's really a cool helpline. I'll tell you this. It's a statewide chat and text-based helpline, and Louisiana is only one of 4 states that has a statewide text-based helpline. So we are ahead of the game on this. We really want to promote it. We really want people to utilize this service because it's so incredibly useful, and we have incredible and compassionate support specialists that are there to help people who contact that helpline. But we have window and mirror decals available. We have posters available. We have little palm cards that you can put out. We have table tents and that you can set out on, if you're in a waiting room, you can put it out on a waiting room table. We have magnets And if you are a bar owner, we actually have coasters with this information so that you can give these out to your patrons. And if you would like any of this for any kind of brochures or one pagers or anything that you find on our resource page, please feel free to contact me, Kelli at LaFASA.org. If you would like the Helpline promotional items, then there's going to be a link in the description that you can click to request these items and how many of these items you would like. So together, we can support survivors and we can change the world. We feel like this is an attainable goal. It's not that far away. We've seen so many changes just in the past 20, 30 years, and compare that to the hundreds of years that sexual assault has been going on. So don't be discouraged, be encouraged. We can make this happen. Every little bit that you do, every little bit counts. No matter what it is, just know that every little bit, every little drop eventually fills a bucket. Thank you again. And if you need any information, please don't hesitate to contact me, Kelli at LaFASA.org, and I will be happy to assist you.